And I don't like pumpkins.
The Southeastern Conference, and it's here inside the press box.
And that's what they mean when they say it means more. I mean, are there better rivalries in the country than what we have in the Southeastern Conference? You got Tennessee and Alabama. You got Alabama, Auburn. You got Ole Miss State. You got Texas, Oklahoma. Texas A&M. What Florida, Georgia? What am I? Florida, LSU has a great rivalry. What am I missing?
Alabama, LSU.
Oh yeah, great ones in there.
And for some reason, Alabama and Ole Miss is not playing right now, and that's crazy to me.
It is. Yeah,
that's a good one. That's a good one. I think it's underrated.
Hey, I will say, as great as the rivalries are, I got to give you props, Mike, because the rejoins this week, when you've got the it's football time in Tennessee, you've got the Crystal. Oh, I love that one.
Well, and here's the thing, and I was that's a perfect setup for an hour from now. When the rejoins are the little things that you hear right there that we come out of commercial breaks with. I've got one more that we'll play in hour 2. That is a new one from our voice guy, and I've called him our voice guy, but his name is actually Keith. He lives down in Destin, Florida, and he's a Bama fan. He grew up in the state of Alabama, and he is a huge Alabama fan. And so I'm saving this for tomorrow. We'll maybe do this in our odds and ends segment. Some of the outtakes he did for me. I sent him 2 pages worth of copy, and he read all of that. And in the midst of it, he'll just do random stuff. And so I clipped up the outtakes of him, and it's some pretty cool stuff. Just talking about his love for Alabama and his disdain. We try not to use the word hate on this program.
Unless Tennessee.
His strong dislike for that other team in the state of Alabama. So the voice guy.
What, Troy? He don't like Troy?
It's not Troy. No, it's not.
I'm teasing. I know who it is. I know dang well who it is.
But there again, we're back to the point. I mean, that's the SEC, man.
Sure.
I mean, come on. That's just the SEC. Some great rivalries and some great stuff going on there. By the way, we'll just throw this in because we should. 153rd Open Championship is
in Ireland.
Yes, the oldest golf tournament in the world. The battle for the Claret Jug is already underway. Royal Portrush.
Yep.
In Northern Ireland.
I think the last time it was there was what, 2009? Is that
6 years ago? Yeah.
Or 2019. I'm sorry.
2019.
2019. That's what I'm
saying. Xander Schauffele, the reigning champion golfer of the year, and of course the hometown favorite, Irishman Rory McIlroy, number 2 golfer in the world. He is second on the odds board behind the number 1 in the world. That is Scotty Scheffler. Live stream going on all day today on Peacock, and TV coverage right now through on
the USA Network.
That's right. USA Network is where you'll find it.
Go look for that. That big sports monster, USA Network.
Hey, Brent's our resident golf expert here. I mean, somebody that worked for the PGA years ago, but you had it pulled up on your phone while we were eating breakfast.
I did, yeah. It's nice to, that's the one thing that I've always struggled with golf is sometimes the TV coverage can be so frustrating because they won't cover it until later in the day and everything. So that's the one nice thing about them playing overseas a lot of times is you get early morning coverage. Now, I did not wake up at like 1:35 this morning when coverage started, but listened to it on the way in this morning and then had it pulled up before we went on air.
It's hard to beat Sunday morning golf when you wake up Sunday morning and then you're in the final round of the Open. That's pretty cool stuff. I can dig that as well. What else is going on today? As we mentioned, we are about 10 minutes away from hearing our conversation, Colin and Brent's conversation with the commissioner, Greg Sankey, yesterday. Just maybe a tease as to what you guys talked about and something to look forward to from the commissioner.
It was really cool getting to sit down with him, and it's phenomenal how many of these he has to do over these 4 days here. Talk in his. I don't really know the official title for her. I should, but I don't. But Miss Kathy is around the clipboard of all his schedules, and she has a sheet that is so intricate, it's incredible, of where he needs to be when, because he's somebody that can't be late to stuff.
Yep.
Like, he can't be late to the big stage to introduce Jeff Lebby at Mississippi State. But one of the things we talked about, because we've talked about it a lot this week, that most of the people that we have spoken to here at SEC Media Days have done a million of these interviews or will do a million of these interviews.
Yeah.
And so we've tried to kind of go a little bit different route and ask some of the questions that it's not the same 4 that they get asked every stop they have along Digital Drive. And so one of the things I talked about with him and wanted to dive into was he's really big on relationships, because there's a lot of commissioners that will sit in their office and just kind of be the figurehead. They'll put out press releases, they'll do a couple interviews and stuff around big events, but that's about as far away from Greg Sankey as it can be. He is always at everything. He talked about in January he made it a point to visit all 16 sites, and there was one week I think he said he was in 10 different cities.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so being able to foster those relationships, and then we talked about how it's kind of helped him in this ever-changing world of college athletics and college football especially, how much those relationships make when you have to have those tough conversations, whether it be with coaches, presidents, chancellors, athletic directors, how having those relationships, which is something we talk about on this show a lot, of relationships around this game,
Yeah.
how much easier it makes for him to be able to have those conversations because of the legwork that he's put in throughout the year.
Well, Colin and Mike and all of us here on the network and talking on this program have relationships with people, and we've built those relationships over time. And I tell you, there's a trust level that comes with those, because if you can develop a trust with somebody, I've always said in business and sales and stuff, it's not about what you're selling; it's the fact that you'll deliver what you say.
Correct.
It's your word. That's what it's about. And I think if Greg Sankey wants people to buy into what he's selling them, I think he has to have a relationship with them, and they trust that they will, put into him when he does the right thing for the greater good of not only the league itself, but for them, the folks that is entrusted him to be the commissioner of this league. And I think a lot of times he gets blamed for stuff that he didn't even come up with to begin with. I heard him yesterday talking about the addition of more teams to the NCAA basketball tournament. He's like, man, that's not my idea. I didn't even, I haven't even been pushing it that hard. He said, I mentioned it a few years ago.
Right. Yeah.
And now all of a sudden I'm charged with, hey, I'm the one that wants to do this. Not necessarily. He said, but, I do think that we could expand it.
Yes.
And stuff like that. I don't know that I want him to do that, but I mean, he gets blamed for a lot of stuff that maybe he suggests, but it's not really his full idea. Somebody else may have added as well.
Well, as we learned in the Spider-Man movies, with great power comes great responsibility, right?
That's exactly right.
Oh, excuse me, guys. Breaking news. Hang on here. Wait a second. This just in, and it comes straight from our live chat messages on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/PressBoxRadio. Has Saban announced his comeback? Question. One of my frat buddies knows a guy and says it's a sure thing. So, there you go. Breaking news. It's a sure thing because his frat buddy knows a guy.
It's amazing to me how this has taken off. And really and truly, this is probably the biggest
That's
question.
the Kiffin thing, wasn't it? Where he said he didn't think he was done coaching.
Oh, yeah. Well,
they asked Kiffin about it.
Greg McElroy's the guy who started it. He started
McElroy
this week.
And
Yeah,
they asked Kirby about it.
Yeah, they
Kirby
asked
kind of
Kirby.
made the joke and said, I offered him Muschamp's job, but he was overqualified.
Overqualified, yeah.
But I was watching, we've talked about it a couple of times. Our buddy McCreary and Siskey have a show.
Yes.
And, Tyler Siskey worked under Saban at Alabama in the player personnel department. And he has said that from the people that he's talked to, that there's not a whole lot of legs.
No way.
So,
no way.
I can't see a world where it happens.
No way. And I'll tell you what, Nick might be for it, but Miss Terry's put her foot down then.
Yep.
No.
And I don't see, and that's what Kirby said. I think that's what Kirby said when they asked about it. Was he said he's not the one that's going to make that call. It's the boss at home that's going to make that call.
The real boss of the house is going to make that.
That's right.
But I just don't see him. I think he does a really good job. I don't see him getting out of broadcasting.
No.
I don't think
ESPN's praying he doesn't.
He's earned his retirement years. That is for sure. All right, we owe you a timeout. We're back with the commissioner, Greg Sankey, inside the press box next.